what's more important, being successful or having a family?
Having a family.
What do you guys think?
Successful.
Wait, for the man or for the woman?
It seems like the red pill ideology is that being successful is more important. It's not about attracting a woman. Like, what's more important for a man? What should a man's priority be? Having a family or being successful?
Being successful first every single time, because then you have the ability to choose. But
not anymore. Not if you get the vasectomy, then you can't have the family.
Dude, you can undo a vasectomy. Like, I don't know why you keep saying, like, you can undo a vasectomy.
It's that one point.
It's that one point that has you tripped out. Remember, dude,
but it says avoid family creation. Like, we
at
get
the beginning stages, bro. Dude, that's not a long-term. That's a short-term.
He said quickest way, which means short-term strategy to building your value up as quickly as possible. That's retard-proof. That's not going to get you in a jam.
I'm not saying that you should have a kid when you're extremely young, but I am saying that we should be focused on becoming good fathers too. Just like we make fun of girls for prioritizing their careers and wanting to be girl bosses and wanting to build an empire, they're not prioritizing motherhood immediately. And then we're saying, men, ignore family creation, get a vasectomy so you could focus on getting rich, and then you'll be 40, you'll have all these hoes and girls, and then start a family. Like, how are we building men to become good fathers if they've been only prioritizing success, if they have a dick surgery? How do they have the character that's going to lead a proper family?
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got Sneeko and we got Fresh and Fit. But before we get into that, man, do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe. So, man, we pretty much got Sneeko over here grilling Fresh and Fit about family values, right? And about let me see, in August, right? Because that was my 1 year anniversary on YouTube. I talked about the different kinds of red pill content, right? So, prime example, right? Fresh and Fit, alpha male strategies, and I don't know if you will put Kevin Samuels in there, right? We're gonna explain. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. But when you got Fresh and Fit and alpha male strategies, when you look at these brothers, right? I agree with what they're talking about, right? 100%. Y'all already know how I am with Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels. I agree with them. But at the same time, they're more geared towards men being successful and smashing. That's it, right? That's what I get from Fresh and Fit. It's all about smashing, being successful and smashing. Alpha male strategies, being successful and smashing, mainly smashing. That's what I really get from him, mainly smashing, knowing how to run chicks and shit. And you know, it's like, that's cool and everything, but I'm more of a realistic approach in the sense that I'm not saying that's not realistic, but what I am saying is some of your average men aren't trying to have this alpha male stigma or whatever, or this idea that, you know what, hey, I want to be successful, have all the cars in the world and smash as many girls. I want to have, you know, the classic Andrew Tate. A lot of you younger guys want to be like Andrew Tate, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing wrong with that. But then on the other side, you have your men who make your average money, right? Who makes 40, 50K a year, right? That's who I advocate for. When you have somebody like O'Shea Duke Jackson, Poor Man's Podcast. I mean, and the reason I say Kevin Samuels, right? I would say Kevin Samuels would be more over here, but also over there too, because you talk about high value men. But he's also more about, you know, I want to see the black family succeed. I want to see the black woman succeed. And the only way a black woman is going to succeed is if she's with a man, right? We're trying to build each other up here, right? Whereas Fresh and Fit and alpha male strategies, more about getting hoes, getting women, this, that. And like I said, I agree with them. They're not saying anything wrong. It's just that, you know, hey, now we have this video here where Sneeko is pretty much saying, man, listen, hey, you know, you got Rollo Tomasi, you got Myron saying, cut your balls off at a young age, guys, so you can be focused, right? So these women won't be sitting up here, because we already know how modern women are. Sit up here, try to trap you. You know, it's going to mess you up, trying to take all your money, especially athletes. And I'm pretty sure that's what they're really gearing towards, because those are the ones that are mainly getting trapped by a lot of these women. When you look at some of these rappers, you look at Drake, did some freaky things with a girl. He threw the condom away in the trash, but he put some hot sauce in it. And what the girl do? She go over there, go take the damn condom out of the trash can like a dirty female she is, and try to sit over here and try to do what she did. And that's disgusting. That's nasty. That's nasty. But once again, right now more than ever, we're having a whole lot of women that are just like that, and it's sad, right? And it's sad. But this is part of why they're saying, you know what, hey, you should go ahead and get a vasectomy at a young age in your 20s. And Sneeko was like, no, man, no. Why do all of that when you can just simply just control yourself to some degree, right? Or use your discernment and find some good women. Why would you sit over here and mutilate yourself like that, mess yourself up at a young age, just so you can not have to risk a woman coming over here trying to trap you, trying to mess you up, instead of just sitting over here saying, you know what, hey, I can find the right woman. Let me use my discernment. Let me find a good woman, because I'm not going to go ahead and try to push away the family values. And that's what pretty much Sneeko was talking about. He was like, you're sitting over here saying get a vasectomy, like, man, but you should want to think about having a family, having a future with a woman. And that's my biggest thing. I want to have a future with a woman. And and listen, I'm a lover boy. I love women. Since the sixth grade, I'm like, man, I want to have a high school sweetheart, because number one, if I do become rich, at least I know she's with me for who I am, right? But if I sit over here, man, and go out here, get rich or whatever, don't have a girlfriend, then I come across a woman, you're gonna try to wonder, is she really with me for the money, or is she with me because of who I am, right? So let's go ahead and jump into this video.
What's more important, being successful or having a family?
Having a family.
What do you guys think?
Successful.
Wait,
So,
for the man or for the
It
woman?
seems like the red pill ideology is that being successful is more important. It's not about attracting a woman. Like, what's more important for a man? What should a man's priority be? Having a family or being successful?
Being successful first every single time, because then you have the ability to choose. But
Not anymore. Not if you get the vasectomy, then
Well,
you can't have the family.
Dude, you can undo a vasectomy. Like, I don't know why you keep saying, like, you can undo a vasectomy.
it's that one point.
Sometimes.
It's that one point that has you tripped out. Remember,
Yeah.
dude,
But it
that
says
thing-
avoid family creation. Like, we
At
get
the beginning stages, bro. Man,
Your
dude, that's
20s.
not a long term. It's
That's
a short term.
He said quickest way, which means short-term strategy to building your value up as quickly as possible. That's retard proof. That's not going to get you in a
Look,
jam.
I'm not saying that you should have a kid when you're extremely young, but I am saying that we should be focused on becoming good fathers too. Just like we make fun of girls for prioritizing their careers and wanting to be girl bosses and wanting to build an empire, they're not prioritizing motherhood immediately. And then we're saying, men, ignore family creation, get a vasectomy so you could focus on getting rich, and then you'll be 40, you'll have all these hoes and girls, and then start a family. Like, how are we building men to become good fathers if they've been only prioritizing success? If they have a dick surgery, how do they have the character that's going to lead a proper family?
So you're saying
Because they've dealt with a
I feel
bunch
like
of
that's-
hoes first,
Yeah,
so
no.
they know what a good
Hold
woman
on.
is.
So you're saying us as men, when we're young, should have kids early, right?
No,
No,
he didn't
no,
say
that's not
that.
what he
He
said.
didn't
I didn't say that.
But what's the priority then?
Look,
Family or
It
success?
doesn't mean that you need to have kids young, but it shouldn't be avoid family creation in your head. That's an important thing to think about when you're young too. How am I going to have the character? How am I going to have the maturity, the responsibility to become a good father when I am ready to do it?
So what age should men have kids then?
I would say early 30s is probably ideal.
30s?
Yeah, I would say like
Nope.
early 30s, mid 30s.
See, you just proved that point. That list is for people in their 20s, not their 30s.
Well, there
So
you go.
can
You
I-
have a
also-
vasectomy, you
so-
can't have kids in your early 30s. That's the point of the surgery.
No.
And you can maybe reverse it, but you can't have, like, that's what that surgery is permanent.
So all in my 20s, what should I be doing?
You should be working on your character. You should be working on your maturity. You should be getting closer to God. A lot of the things that we're praising the women for to become a good mother, that's important things for men
So be
to focus
broke.
on too.
I work on characters.
I didn't say be broke. It's equally important to work on your finances. Women aren't going to say that, of course. I'm telling guys, you should get rich as possible too, but you should also be working on, like, building your character and looking at how I'm going to raise my kids and how I'm going to be a good father. If you're 40 and you have all these hoes and you have experience with hoes, is that going to make you a better father? Probably not.
No.
You'll just know how to avoid a bad woman. But it's not that you don't need to fuck 100 women to realize what a hoe is. A hoe is a girl. You look at her Instagram, you know she's a hoe or not. You don't need to get all these women in order to understand
No,
that.
you don't.
Can I
Once again, you need
interject?
to be able to decipher from experience who's a hoe and who's not. We're just saying, look,
Do you think it's that hard to see who a hoe is?
bro, come on, really?
I feel overall men should have a self-control when they're in their early 20s. Yes, by nature, like, you're going to go be promiscuous and all of this, but you also can have if you're working to get closer to God, you will create a self-control within yourself to not be sexually, like,
I cannot stand women like this, man, who be trying to act spiritual and shit. We got a lot of women in this world who be trying to, oh, I'm so spiritual, but it's like these women then take freaking thousands of dicks just for them to then sit over here and find God, just for them to then turn around and be spiritual. Oh, well, you know, I'm spiritual. Oh, well, stop it, right? Just stop it, right? Because it be women that look just like this, bro, who be sitting over here playing these damn games. It's like, man, sis, stop it, right? Stop it. That's what we get a lot of times. A lot of women like to be spiritual, be doing all that sage and I don't know, all that voodoo and meditation shit. And then it's like, but it's like you was out here thotting. You was out here thotting heavy. You was out here thotting heavy. A lot of women don't reach their spiritual enlightenment until they didn't have a bunch of kids or until they didn't been ran through. And hell, half the damn times, I see a lot of strippers, man, being in that spiritual shit. That should just be beyond me. But you know, hey, keep going.
Promiscuous and just having sex with everyone and get someone pregnant.
And
You could use a condom too.
Can I say too, I think what Sneako's also trying to explain is that when you have a culture that bashes Western women about how we're focusing on the wrong things when we're young, but then you praise men for perpetuating that culture, I think what Sneako is trying to say is we need to teach men to have similar values to where we can come to the same page so that we don't damage each other and hurt each other in our 20s, and then you're 40, you're a 40-year-old man and you have a bunch of young bimbos around you and you don't know how to have a relationship with somebody who's quality.
Okay.
I mean, what's the funny part? I'm
that
curious.
sounds great. I'm laughing because because the thing is that feminism is here and it's not going anywhere. You just heard all these girls' answers.
What is feminism?
Quite literally
Girl
what
boss
indoctrinated
queen,
you to give the answers you just gave a second ago.
Can you
Feminism.
explain it?
Feminism.
Building an empire.
Yeah, like all of you guys gave very masculine answers when we asked you. First it was, do you want to be a mom? Then we asked you, what are you working on right now to be a mom in the future? All of you gave masculine answers to be able to provide, work on your education, whatever, which is cool. But what I'm saying is that all of you guys are young and your answers show the indoctrination that feminism is here and it's not going anywhere. It's even seeping into women from foreign countries. So, Sneako, I get what you're saying, bro.
So is it better advice?
Here, let me just finish real quick. In an ideal world, I wish it was 1950. I wish we could go back to guys getting married at 21, 22, having a wife that is great and everything else like that, the tradcon life. But those days are gone, bro.
Right.
Like if guys sit here and say, I really want to be a dad, and they don't have sexual experience, they're setting themselves up for failure. You can see all these tradcon relationships going down the tubes. And I get it. Like it sucks. It's fucked up. But at the end of the day, men are the ones that risk everything when they become a father, when they get married, etc. Women are incentivized to leave the guy. So we're operating in 2023 standards, not 1950 standards.
Women risk their bodies to give birth to kids. How can you say they don't risk anything?
Bro, seriously?
Yeah.
Let
Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Okay.
Go ahead.
Who has to bring more to the table to get a relationship? The man or the woman?
The woman.
Really?
The man.
Thank you.
man.
Someone's operating
The man.
logistically.
No, no.
I mean, at first,
Logically.
yeah, the man has to, most of the times court the women, but at the end of the day, like,
Well, no. What does he have to even be able to court the woman?
I mean, whatever she thinks is attractive to her, whether physical or, mentally.
Okay, let me answer it for you because you don't want to be blunt about it. Women look for certain things: height, income, strength, competence, confidence, ambition, all these things that take time to acquire. When a man gets with a woman, he's effectively 9 out of 10 times better than her in most regards. That's the truth. Women don't date down, they date up.
And you
So-
answer this so confidently because you yourself are a woman?
I know exactly what women want because men, unlike women, have to know what women want to get them, but women don't have to know what men want to get them.
Yeah, and you date those guys. So
Like
Guys.
the reality is, men have to approach women, correct?
Majority of the times, but I think
hold
with
on.
these
Men
new
have to ask
times,
women on
I don't
dates,
know.
correct?
Majority of the times.
Men have to initiate conversation.
Majority.
Men have to plan a date.
Majority.
So effectively, they have to understand women to get sex, correct?
Correct.
Women are on the receiving end, which means they're the ones being courted, correct?
in the beginning stages, correct?
Yes. So in other words, the guy has to bring a lot to the table to even get a chance to be able to court the girl, correct?
At the beginning stages, correct.
Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is that men must bring way more to the table to even get the attention of a woman. So therefore, when they get in the relationship with the girl, they're bringing more resources and bringing more to the table than women do in general. Men don't ask much for women, but women ask a lot for men.
Cap.
So
Yeah, I
Excuse
think
me?
that's really. I
Excuse
think
me?
that's based
Yeah.
on your
How?
relationship.
I think that men ask for a lot more than they think they ask for. But when it comes to resources, yes, you guys do come with a lot and you guys do bring a lot and provide for us. But I think when it comes to mental, spiritual, and things like that, we provide a lot for men.
It's not tangible though.
Yes, it's not tangible, but when you work on your spiritual, your mental, it elevates everything in your life. Because if you look at people who are making money, where is their mind space at?
They don't pay the bills.
Yeah.
Listen,
Money pays the bills.
that's what I'm saying. What you're bringing to the table is nice, is great, but ultimately for the family to actually survive, you got to pay the bills.
If
And
you
that takes
look at
money.
empires, who is the woman on side of the man?
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
Pretty much.
But she's there.
The kings are known. Those
but
wives are-
she's there.
Don't
yeah,
worry.
but in the background,
Don't
we're
worry.
saying ultimately for a family to work, money is going to be important.
Money is extremely important, but the part that I disagree with you, Myron, is that I understand. We agree that feminism has completely ruined most women in the West.
Yeah.
But the advice from the space is instead of navigating that, instead of trying to find a good woman, get a vasectomy and then sleep with all of them and then understand their nature. Why not just understand that a lot of these women are unwifeable and then navigate around that instead and just not spend your time and invest your energy into women that you don't even respect or like in
No,
the first
because
place.
even if you do find a traditionally conservative woman that will sit there and be a good wife or
She'll
whatever,
crowder you.
huh?
She'll Steven crowder
She can
you.
still crowder you because the thing is, people. This is what I want guys to understand. Even if your girl loves you, whatever, and you know you guys have a relationship, everything else like that, the upside of her leaving you is so high. Like she gets so much benefit that a lot of the time women aren't going to sit there and deal with it. The duty, they're like, fuck that. I can get half his money, get the kid, get child support, live this same lifestyle, and go date someone else that's going to make
I'm
me
not
happy.
even advocating towards marriage. I'm advocating towards family creation. Well, I think it's worthwhile to get married within the church or within the mosque, and then avoid that whole legal battle. Don't give away half your money. Get married
then
within
we can have
religion.
a conversation.
That's my point. I never said that other thing. You think I'm going the Tradcon route? It's over. Like Steven Crowder's wife proved that that's going to happen. They were married when they were virgins. They were the only people, and then she still said, "You're emotionally abusing me." Garbage. That video was edited. She stole it. Women are incentivized to do it. Hakimi, she brought that up at the couch. It's not a good idea. But if you get married within a religion, and then you could
But
give her.
there's still some states that will look at that as a marriage of the state, dude.
And child support
We
as
had a
well.
whole podcast with lawyers on that.
There's no escape, bro. Child support. And then, dude, once again, those things you mentioned before, if
Yeah.
you're with her too long in the same household, that's your
Common
wife.
law,
So
yeah.
don't even.
I hate when women sit up here and say that, right? Like, I mean, I'd be like, what? I'd be wondering when somebody like Myron or anybody who's talking to a woman like that, I'd just be wondering, when are y'all going to say what I'm about to say, right? My thing is, I hate when women use that as an argument. Well, women, we sacrifice our body. When we have kids, when we have your kids.
Women risk their bodies to give birth to kids. How can you say they don't risk anything?
Seriously?
Yeah.
You are put on this earth to bear a man's child, period. Right? And now we're living in a time where a lot of people swear that that their mission is very different than other people's and this and that. And it's like, okay, yeah, we all have a different lifestyle in the sense that somebody want to work for Enterprise, somebody want to work for Burger King, McDonald's, somebody working for a business, somebody working for a company, people being entrepreneurs. We all have different lanes in life. But at the end of the day, we all serve the same purpose. We are here to work, and we are here to take care of a family. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. No matter what job you're working, no matter how much you're getting paid, your job, at the end of the day, your job is to work and have a family. Period. That's it. That's it. And as a woman, your job is to bear a man's child. Point blank, period. Right? So to sit up here and say, well, we sacrifice our bodies to have a child. We sacrifice our bodies to have a child. You're not sacrificing your body because your body is built to do that. Your body is built to do that. And it's it's a very small percentage of women who die giving birth. So let's not go down that route. So that's not a good argument. Even that's not a good argument. But we gotta understand, man, that like Myron said, feminism is here. Feminism is here, right? But his whole thing is we shouldn't even be focused about no family or having kids right now. We're all about focusing, right? Because a lot of people say you need to sacrifice your 20s to be able to have everything that you want in your 30s, which is true. That's most definitely true, right? That's most definitely true. I gotta sacrifice my 20s, and I'm fine with that, right? I'm fine with that. If you're looking to have a bright future, you gotta sacrifice your 20s. It is what it is, right? But the thing is, man, we're living in a time, man, where feminism is big. Like Myron said, feminism is big, and it ain't going nowhere. But once again, man, you know, you still, in my opinion, you shouldn't let that deter you from wanting to create a family, wanting to look for a woman, man, that is compatible. I believe there's tons of good women out here. I really do. I believe that there's tons of good women. Now, there's more piss poor women than there is good women. But here's the thing, right? A lot of women like to say, you know what, hey, y'all red pill content fools, and y'all black manosphere, or y'all manosphere Negroes, y'all always, man, talk about, you know, single mothers and hoes. Yes, of course, right? Because these are the women, man, that want us men to accept it, want society to accept that type of behavior. Being single mother, having kids by a bunch of men, wanting to be a single mother, sleeping around with a bunch of men. Women want you to accept that, right? So yes, of course, we're gonna bring light to that. But you know what? Hey, oh well, y'all need to stop talking about that. Y'all need to stop talking about that, this, that, and third. Okay, fine then, right? Let's just say we move those women to the side. You really think that's what red pill content is just about? It's just about these group of women? You think red pill content is just about single mothers? No. We have tons and tons and tons of women, this is in my opinion. I even talked about it in my 1-year anniversary video. You will have tons of women who are business driven, right? Who are business minded, who work in good careers, and in my opinion have some level of self-respect, right? Because I wouldn't say every female in this world, I wouldn't say every female in America is out here trying to thot or look like she's ready to go to a strip club. No, you have some women out here, men, who are very modest. But what I can say, right? Here's what I can say, right? Because a lot of women like to claim that this is the type of women that they are, right? Very modest, quote unquote, or whatever. Independent, don't need a man, this and that. But you do understand that these same women have the same mindset of these women that's over here, right? You have these women who are business-minded, independent, or whatever. They would defend women who have multiple kids by different men, who sit over here and sleep around with a bunch of different men. But they wouldn't do that themselves. But they would defend those women, right? They would defend those women. And those women will defend these women. It's just back and forth, right? And it's like, this is where the passport bros come into play, right? This is where a lot of these women on both ends will sit over here and say, well, you know what, hey, he's going to be a sex tourist. He's this, he's that.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I dare you with your gay ass. Oh my God. I dare you. What you trying to be on? What you trying to be on? I'm on whatever you want. I'll beat you the fuck up. What you trying to be on? If you really fuck Billy, what you trying to be on? It's whatever. I'm trying to be on. Say somebody one thing and I'm gonna rock your shit.
If you're wondering why the Passport Bros movement exists, watch this.
The Passport Bro movement in America exists because men in America, they lack motivation, they're mediocre, and women in America have to work, they get educated, and they start making money because they have to. So why would American women have to put up with a man that don't have any of those qualities? These passport bros, they think they can go to another country and offer this woman, and he says it in the video, that if he goes to the Philippines and he offers a woman a better life, he said it right there. He's just basically manipulating these women into thinking that they're gonna have a better life with them, which they might, because they may live in very poor areas. But guess what? If you bring her to America, that's expensive. You're going to have to work your ass off. You're going to have to be the provider. You're going to have to pay for all her bills if she doesn't have an education.
Do not abandon or forsake your sisters in America just because they're having a hard time too.
Single women are actually having a great time. I don't know if you've looked at the statistics, but we're having a great time. But we're just having a great time without you. Without men. And that's why these particular men, the passport bros, are upset, because we've managed to build these great, fulfilling, wonderful lives without them. And they're used to being needed. They're used to being able to have that leverage over us where, you know, society convinced us we had to be married, we had to be coupled, and they're used to kind of having all the power in that instance. And they can't manipulate us with that anymore. They no longer have power over us. So that's why they're mad.
These women right here have a feminist mindset just like these women. These women pretty much are in the same category to some degree. Now, I'm taking my chances with some of these women that are over here because at least some of them come in modest and some of them have a level of thinking to some degree, right? Saying, hey, you know what? I have some self-control. I'm just not going to allow anybody to hit. I'm just not going to allow anybody to hit. But I say these women, some of these women have to be deprogrammed, right? I'm not a passport bro. I wouldn't want to be a passport bro. I don't want to go overseas. I don't want to live overseas. I would take my chances with a girl in this group, right? Prime example, my girlfriend. When I first met her, you know, she had feminist tendencies. I'm telling you, about 90% of you women in America are feminists, right? And they don't even know it. The majority of you women in America are feminists and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. And that's how long and that's how hard that doctrine has been pushed into the society amongst women, right? You even hearing it from 16-year-olds. And the point that I'm making is, Myron is saying, man, you have far too many piss poor women in this world, man, who at that age, especially in the 20s, don't want to think, right? And you're a 20-year-old guy, you don't reach a financial stride until you hit your 30s, right? So if you're a 20-year-old guy and you're dealing with certain women, just for him, it'll just be a waste of your time. You're dealing with a bunch of feminists. You're dealing with a bunch of women, man, who don't want to think of their own, who wants to be followers, who wants to cancel everybody who disagree with them. So he's saying, don't even worry about that. Go ahead and get a vasectomy or whatever, and live your life. Be successful. So once you hit 30s, once you get tons of money, you can have as many hoes as you want, right? Sneeko was saying, you know what? Hey, that's cool and all, right? That's cool and all, but you shouldn't want to avoid our family, right? Because nowhere when Myron and Rollo Tomasi is saying get a vasectomy, where is that saying, you know what? Hey, you should want to have a family. You should learn how to be a father or whatever, right? But mainly you should want a family. Where's the family values? And I get that. Where is the family values? You should want to have family values. And that's my biggest thing. Like I said, I'm a lover boy. I want to have kids. I want to have a family. So I'm not going to sit over here. I think that's just bad advice coming from Rollo Tomasi and Myron. I think that's just bad advice. And think about family. You should want to be a family. Like I said, I don't have no issue with anybody looking up to Andrew Tate. I don't think anybody has an issue except for liberals and all them, right? You know, I'm down with Andrew Tate all day. But the thing is, man, my whole biggest thing, right? I'm gonna leave it here. My whole biggest thing is, you have somebody like Myron, you have somebody like Fresh, you have somebody like Andrew Tate. They got all the money in the world. Why not settle down? Why not find a woman? Now, like I said, some men are gonna want to cheat and go do their thing. That's one thing. But as a man, I think you have all of that money. For me, why not just go ahead, find a woman that is compatible to you and get married? That's me, though. That's me. But you see Myron, you see Fresh, you see Andrew Tate, they got all this money and they're still talking about, oh, you know, you want to be successful, you want to get this money. And I get that. And I'm with that 100%. But like I said, I think you should at least have a partner next to you, have a complement next to you. That's just me, though. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with Sneekio. You should want to have family values in your 20s, right? I got some people that I went to school with. They're married. And these people 23, 22, married with kids, right? Got a dog, got a house. I look at that, that's a dream for me. That's a dream for me, and that should be a dream for a lot of young men and a lot of women in their 20s, right? But we're all discombobulated, right? And I feel like this right here is just bad advice, right? This right here is just bad advice. And you can't say it's hypocritical because we do, you can't say it's hypocritical because they do say, you know what, hey, women need to stop being hoes. You know, women need to start, learning how to find good men, this, that, and the third. But then we turn around and sit over here telling young guys, hey, go ahead and snip your balls until you're about 30. You know what I'm saying? And then you can go ahead and have as many hoes as you want. I can see how that's contradicting. I can see how that is contradicting, right? So y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe.